Budgeting 101, what you need to know and where to get started. When it comes to personal finance, perhaps the most important thing you can do is to have a budget. A general knowledge of what you make each month, what you spend, and how and where you save is the first step to growing your wealth. This news might come as a shock to you, or maybe not. 55% of Americans do not use any kind of budget at all. That's right. They fly by the seat of their pants when it comes to what comes in and what goes out. This reality is not surprising when you take into consideration that a huge majority, 65%, of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. The thing to remember, though, is that even on the tightest of incomes, there are ways to cut corners, save money, and grow your wealth. It all begins with a budget. But before we get into it, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for our channel, so you can be sure to get all your financial updates right to your inbox. Okay, now let's get into it. What is a budget? A budget, by definition, is an estimation of revenue and expenses. How much do you expect to come in this month? And how much do you expect to go out? When you have a budget, you have an overview of your finances for a whole month, and you can decide if you are okay with spending this much on Starbucks, that much on cable or streaming services, and this much on magazine subscriptions. Even on the tightest of incomes, you can find ways to cut expenses, like eating in more often, switching to big box grocery stores, and cutting out unhealthy habits and foods like cigarettes and junk food. It's not only good for your budget, it's good for your health, which will end up saving you even more money in the long run. How to budget. A great way to start your budget is to sit down with your bank statement from the last month. Then, you can line item major sections of your income and expenses on a yellow legal pad or on an Excel spreadsheet. Draw a line down the middle and have two columns. Your income goes in the left column, showing everything you've got coming in. Your expenses show everything you've got going out, in the right column. You can segment your expenses out by categories: household bills like rent or mortgage, utilities, streaming services, etc. Car expenses like a car payment and insurance, food, including groceries and eating out. You get the idea. You also want to understand the difference between fixed payments, things that don't change like rent or mortgage, and variable payments, the things that can change like a credit card payment, or even groceries. Once you've laid out your entire budget, you'll see at the bottom of each column a total, how much comes in and how much goes out. Now you know how much you can save and how much you're overspending each month. What to do with a budget? Great, now you have a budget. What do you do with it? You find ways. You find ways to cut, you find ways to save, and you find ways to grow your wealth. If you are up to your neck in debt, underpaid, and feeling overwhelmed by all this, don't worry, you are not alone. American household debt hit a record $14.6 trillion last year. That debt is shared by 360 million people, and the average American adult carries $58,604 in debt. You are not alone. And you are not without hope. There are many ways to make deals with your creditors to lower your payments and create a bit more room to breathe. You can also consider asking for a raise at work, switching jobs, or taking on a side hustle. The internet is alive with them right now. The bottom line is, there are options. This segment today is all about changing your mindset around money and getting you working with a budget and growing your wealth. This is just step one. Take a good hard look at your budget and think about how you can impact it today. Where can you cut down some fat? Where can you grow a little new income? How can you make those numbers in the columns work in your favor? Get financial goals. If you have not considered this question, now is the time. Where are your financial goals? You want to retire early? Retire rich? Buy a house? Buy investment property? Go to Europe for the summer? No goal is silly or too crazy. You are allowed your own financial goals. You are even allowed multiple goals. Just start making them. Once you have some strong financial goals, your budget will make much more sense. You will start to make ways in your budget to meet your goals. Important goals to have. Some small goals to reach for now. 1,000 emergency fund. Common wisdom says you should have 3 months' expenses saved up, but if you have nothing in savings right now, that may be a stretch. Aim right now for a minimum of $1,000. It will be there for you should trouble arrives. And we all know trouble has a way of arriving when we least expect it. Start today just putting aside $25 a week. You'll be at $1,000 in less than a year and better off than you are today. Open a retirement account. If this is not in your budget, it should be. Not only is it good to save for retirement, but an IRA is also usually a tax write-off. So not only will you save money for when you retire, but you will also get money back on your taxes at the end of the year for doing so. Win-win. Get out of debt. Yes, most people have to budget for this. It's doable. Call your credit card companies, call your car company, find out about student loan income-based repayment plans. You have options, and you deserve to live debt-free. Budgeting can help you do all this and so much more. So get started today and watch out for more shows coming up on how to work a budget, how to get out of debt, and how to grow your wealth. Remember, hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss a show.